All right, welcome back, everybody. A lot of special guests today. We are welcoming some of the GoldDao team to the All In IC podcast, episode 4. GoldDao digitally allows you to buy gold anywhere instantly, which is very cool. I'm excited to learn more. Today we have VictorICP from the X community, and we have Dustin as well, a leading member at the team. I'm very excited to meet you today, Dustin. And if you could just maybe share a little bit about yourself and Victor as well. Chris and I really appreciate having you on today to talk about GoldDao.
Yes, thank you for the nice introduction. It's a pleasure to be here speaking for GoldDao. So my role within the GoldDao is being the tech lead of the main team contributing to the GoldDao. And we've been live around a bit more than 1 year. Did our SNS in December 2023 and have been developing since then. And I'm very happy to be here today and go into a bit of more details of what we're cooking right now, what we're doing, and spread the word.
Really cool. I'm so excited to hear more about it. And Victor as well, a key player in the X ecosystem. Thank you for joining us as well, Victor.
Hey guys, what up? I'm VictorICP. I think probably everyone listening to the podcast already heard about me just because I talk so much on X. But I'm VictorICP. I love ICP, as my name says, VictorICP. I'm the social media manager at GoldDao. So I wanted to kind of hook up the tech lead of GoldDao, and then I saw the podcast, and I was like, wow, we got to get GoldDao in there. We got to get him in there, man. This is a fantastic podcast. So thank you guys for letting us know and letting us be here. I know about the GoldDao kind of on a surface level, since I'm not a technical guy, but that's how we brought Dustin, right? So we can talk about RWA, real world assets, what that means. From back in the day, people were kind of dreaming of tokenizing assets. So right after Bitcoin tokenizing money, the big thing was like, how do we tokenize assets? How do we tokenize every single thing? And I want Dustin particularly to explain kind of how GoldDao is different than anything else on the market. Even when I purchased the SNS, I bought a little bit. I saw that it said gold on it, and I was like, hey, I'm going to buy a little bit. But it's special and it's different than anything else on the market. And Dustin will tell you why. But there's already some competitors already knew about some other coins, on Binance or whatever that will gold oriented. But this one is different. And there's one little thing that makes it different. And anyway, but I'll let you guys continue, and then Dustin can kind of explain why.
I'm excited to hear about it. How are you? How are your feelings on it, Chris?
I'm super excited. It's an honor to have you guys on. Obviously, GoldDao is one of the more renowned projects within the eco. And I'm also kind of I only understand it on a surface level. So very excited to hear the elaboration from Dustin. And congrats, Victor, on your new involvement with the project. So cool. Dustin, if you want to just give us maybe the general pitch, perhaps for those who have never heard of it. Just kind of the top level breakdown.
Yes, sure. I'm happy to do that. So the very short gist of it is basically that we're tokenizing gold. So we have a token which is called Gold Token, GLDT, which really represents physical gold. And there are a few layers kind of how we're doing that. I would say I started the very bottom layer, basically of how the bridging of kind of the real world into the tokenized form works. And then I will go a bit on the different layers that we're building on top of that. So really at the foundation of everything is real physical gold that we put in vaults here in Switzerland. And each of these gold bars, they have a serial number, and then they're linked one-to-one to a gold NFT that we issue on the ICP protocol. So whenever anybody is buying one of these NFTs, trading them, they basically receive a specific NFT tied via serial number to the gold bar that is stored in a vault here in Switzerland. And this is basically the foundation. This is the main way of how the gold bar is basically bridged into a tokenized form. And now, I mean, NFTs is a very, let's say, limited market. You always need explicit liquidity. Basically, you need an explicit buyer. It's very hard to have liquid NFTs. So basically what we're doing now and what we have already launched, and this is live, is offering the users the possibility to swap the NFT that they have into a fungible token, which is the gold token, GLDT. Mm-hmm. And you swap the NFT at a ratio of 1 gram for 100 GLDT. And we have different sizes of the NFTs or of the gold bars. We have 1 gram, 10 gram, 100 gram, and 1 kilo. And anybody can come, of course, and buy those and then either keep them in the NFT if they just want to invest in gold like this, or swap them into GLDT. And then you have a fungible token, which is much more liquid and you can easily trade on DEXs. You can use it as for anything in DeFi, for borrowing, lending, or other purposes. And also what we are releasing now very soon is staking. So you can lock up your GLDT, earn interest on top of that. So you really have a very versatile token, which is exposed to the value of gold. So as I said before, 1 GLDT, or the other way around, 1 gram of gold is 100 GLDT. So right now, it's because of the gold prices, it's a coincidence that 1 GLDT is very roughly $1. It's actually, I think, 97 cents right now, because that's the price of 0.01 gram of gold. But yeah, you shouldn't kind of mix it up with a US dollar stablecoin, but it's really like a stablecoin that is tied to the value of gold and follows the price of gold. And so basically it allows users to invest into gold in a tokenized form. And instead of just having then their assets exposed to the value of gold, you can do different things with it, like staking, putting it into other DeFi protocols, putting it into liquidity pools. So really let your gold work for you in a sense, instead of just having it physically somewhere below your pillow or in your bank account or whatever. That's I would say that's the gist of it. And there's, of course, a lot around that, but yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's so exciting. And the questions that people, I guess, are gonna want to ask that you've kind of lightly addressed is, so this tokenization of the gold is going to allow me to really know that it's actually mine, redeemable in person. So you kind of also addressed why invest through GoldDao as opposed to trying to round it up in person and store it in find a place to keep it safe and secure and all that comes along with that process. Some people watching this might want to know, and Victor, this might be a good opportunity, a question for you is what's going to be propelling the price of gold as an investment, and to leverage that into why is it a good idea to invest in gold through GoldDao?
Yeah, of course, I'm glad you asked that question. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now. So primarily, if you notice with the new administration, they're really focusing on bringing back manufacturing to the United States, right? It's all about manufacturing. You hear all about like tariffs this, tariffs that, but it's not about tariffs, right? Like tariffs is not the real reason. The real reason is bringing manufacturing back into the United States. And in order to bring manufacturing back into the United States, you can't have an ever expanding powerful dollar. Like it's fantastic to have a powerful dollar. You can currently travel and your money goes a longer way. But if you want to actually sell American goods, then the dollar has to become weaker, right? The dollar has to have, I guess, less purchasing power. And then that way the rest of the world can actually buy American goods like they used to. Like back in the day, it was the pride of America to export GM vehicles, to export like all of these, fantastic American made things. And because I and also many other people think that the dollar might be weakening, there's also all those factors about what's going on in China, what's going on with the BRICS and Russia and competing with a gold currency or whatever. But just on a simple sense, if the United States wants to bring back manufacturing, it's going to have to lower the power of the US dollar. Well, what happens when you lower the power of the US dollar? while simultaneously printing more dollars. Well, number one, the value of assets is going to go up. You see stocks going up. You see maybe real estate. Then once quantitative easing happens, you see risk on assets go up. So, our meme coins go up, number go up. But at the same time in the world market, the value of gold goes up. And that's something that people hadn't seen. Like, okay, well, how come, America's having this powerful position, but at the same time, the powerful position is also making the price of gold go up. What? And it hit an all-time high, and then it hit it again. What's going on here? So my take is that America's bringing back manufacturing. And if America's bringing back manufacturing, then people might want to have gold, right? So you can have gold, and then you can actually buy American-made goods. So particularly me, that's specifically it. And I find it funny that there's a product called USDG that's also coming out by GoldDao, which is a stable coin that's like $1. But it's funny to me because the GLDT token, which is already out, it's basically already $1. It's 97 cents. And then it's not 97 cents and like it's going lower. It's 97 cents and it could likely go higher. And then it could likely long-term go higher forever. If the price of gold keeps going up, then technically you'd have a stable coin that's 97 cents, and then it's $1, and then it's $1.03, and then it's $1.05, potentially. Of course, the price of gold could go down and with new mining discoveries or whatever. But that's me primarily. That's what I'm excited. So I'm not even waiting for USDG. I'm already like, wow, you already have GLDT. You have a gold-backed coin that's practically $1. You can already get it. You can go to ICP Swap right now and just get that token. Like you don't even have to buy the NFT. Yeah.
Interesting. One other question for Dustin. I saw on the website that revenue comes in and then flows to the DAO and then gets rewarded, and that rewards the stakeholders perhaps. So people are able to earn money on their gold. So where is that coming from? Is that from transaction fees? Is that from the sale of the gold NFTs on the front end? Because it goes from the gold NFT to the gold token, like you said, and then to the 1 gram to the 100. And I did the math, and you're right. It did come out to $96, which is what the price of 100 grams, I suppose, or no, 1 gram. So yeah, I guess could you explain the flows in there that allow the rewards mechanism to operate?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the very critical questions, I think, and it's very important that people understand, because this is the factor that also like brings value to investing in GoldDao, like in the project native token, because we haven't touched based on that one yet. But you have the GLDT token, which is the product that the GoldDao is developing. So it's the gold peg token. But then we have the GoldDao token. So also it's to be clear, like the project is called GoldDao, and then the token is GoldDao with 1D. Kind of symbolizing this fusion between gold being this traditional asset and DAO being this very modern construct, and these two systems kind of fusing together. Just as a little side fun fact. But yeah, so basically, GoldDao is the native token to the project, the governance token, and people can stake GoldDao in governance and then actively participate in anything that is being developed. And what we're now releasing, and I think that's what your question is targeting, is the GLDT staking, and which is basically the possibility for users to lock up their GLDT and then earn interest for that. And basically how that works is that the GoldDao itself has a treasury of GoldDao tokens, and we are allocating a certain portion of that treasury into a GoldDao neuron, and then this neuron is basically participating in the governance, and the rewards of this neuron are being distributed to the GLDT stakers. So there is, of course, this cannot be grown infinitely because there is a certain capacity, but it's like it kind of answers also the question that most people have, because there is no free lunch. Like, the rewards have to come from somewhere, so we cannot just print tokens or whatever, or just mint them. But basically, where the rewards are coming from are from the staking rewards that are already there, and basically a portion of those are being, in a sense, then redirected to the GLDT stakers. And so that's the base mechanism of how the GLDT staking works. And
really cool.
Yeah, I think that answers this question. There's so much more, of course, to go into detail around how GoldDao mechanism works. But yeah, go ahead, Victor.
Yeah, real quick. I don't know if you can also include this part. I didn't know either. So basically, when GoldDao did the SNS, it raised a bunch of ICP, like a lot of ICP. And then on top of that, because they're kind of tied with Origin, the Origin Foundation, OGY also gave them a bunch of OGY tokens. So then what they did is they staked this ICP, like as an ICP neuron, and then they're taking those ICP rewards and they're using part of those to buy back the GoldDao token, and then they're using part of those to reward GoldDao stakers. So when you stake your GoldDao, like, you're not just getting GoldDao, you're getting rewards from Origin being staked, and then you're getting rewards from ICP being staked in like a real neuron. And then because it's so much ICP, you're using those ICPs to buy back the token. So if you actually go to the ICP dashboard and you click on SNSs, you click on GoldDao, and then you filter by burning, you can see like 20,000 GoldDao tokens being bought and burned every single day, or it might be every couple hours, but something like every single day. So basically, even if no one even used the token, like if it's like, all right, no one uses it, it sucks, there's still a big bag of ICP in the neuron just purchasing it back by itself. So like you have like an automatic daily buyer. And I think not enough people know about this. So I don't know, Dustin, maybe you can explain it with a little bit more details.
That's super important. That's let me see. So previously I said, basically how the GLDT staking works, how it's based on rewards that are coming from a GoldDao neuron. And now what Victor basically started explaining is, what's the benefit of anybody to be holding a GoldDao neuron? So why do you even want to buy GoldDao and stake it in a GoldDao neuron? And this is exactly what he said. So you get GoldDao tokens. So basically, in total, there's a fixed amount of GoldDao tokens that will be issued for the rewards, which is 40 million GoldDao tokens a year. And this comes from the treasury, and it's halving every 4 years. So now we've been running for 1 year, and then within the first 4 years, 160 million will be distributed. Then it's halving, so the next 4 years is going to be 80. Then it's going to be halving, it's 40. So there's 320 million in total, and it will asymptotically basically be used. But so, you have these GoldDao tokens that are being issued, being distributed in a fixed supply amount. And then, like Victor said, we have the OGY tokens, basically because the whole NFT layer is based on the Origin NFT. And it's using the technology that has been built by the Origin Foundation. And the GoldDao project, the Gold NFTs, is basically a showcasing, a very prominent one of what you can do with the Origin technology. And that's why Origin donated 500 million OGY to the GoldDao, which are staked in an Origin neuron. And those rewards are being distributed 100% to the GoldDao stakers. So that's the second one. And then there's the third one, which is ICP rewards. And this is what also Victor already said. Those are coming from the raised funds during the SNS sale. So GoldDao, we raised around 780,000 ICP. So quite a substantial amount. And 70% of those tokens were staked in an NNS or in NNS neurons, of which I think it's like around 550,000 ICP that are locked for 8 years. And those rewards from those NNS neurons are being split into 3 parts. 1/3 goes directly to the GoldDao stakers. Another third goes to the buyback and burn, is what we call it. So basically, this third goes on any DEX and buys the GoldDao token and then burns it subsequently. And here, this, of course, it depends on the ratio of ICP to GoldDao token, but we're talking about like 20 to 25,000 GoldDao that are being burned every day with this mechanism. And then the last third goes to a dedicated wallet, which is used for liquidity, market making, right now specifically for GLDT, to provide more liquidity on those pairs. And yeah, so basically you have, in a way, you're like a liquid staking in a sense. So when you stake GoldDao, you're indirectly staking ICP, and depending on the ratio actually of the price, it makes more sense to stake GoldDao instead of actually staking ICP. Because you get more, you also get GoldDao, you also get ICP, you get OGY. So overall, we're talking about an APY right now of, I think like 25% when you stake GoldDao, because it's composed of these 3 tokens. And now what people are kind of always asking about as well, it's adding on top, and I hope I don't confuse, but basically the GoldDao did an investment into Water Neuron last summer. And those tokens, they were done from a manual wallet, so they hadn't been given to the DAO yet. But this will actually happen now at the end of March. So those tokens that the team, or that the GoldDao, the DAO itself invested into Water Neuron, will be liquid, and they're going to be handed over to the DAO as well, in the same way like we have the OGY tokens and the ICP tokens. The GoldDao is going to be holding WTN tokens, and staking rewards from those will also be distributed 100% to GoldDao Neuron owners. So it's it's a very, very lucrative setup actually for anybody to invest into GoldDao and to be exposed to different tokens, which are project independent of the GoldDao. So all of these rewards actually, they're not even dependent on the success of the GoldDao token itself, of our products we're developing. And this part is now basically coming on top. So we have the GLDT, which is already live, GLDT token, which is a product of the GoldDao. And every time there's a transfer from one person to another, or every time there's a swap on any DEX, there's a small transaction fee that is taken from, that users have to pay. You have to pay a transaction fee for every token that you're sending. And whenever you're sending GLDT, this transaction fee goes to the DAO. It goes to the DAO treasury. And then these tokens that are accumulating, they're being used in the same way as the ICP to buy back GoldDao and subsequently burn them, to basically provide a buying pressure on GoldDao and reduce the supply. And this scales obviously linearly with adoption of GLDT. So the more people use GLDT, the more use cases there are, the more transactions there are, the higher is going to be the transaction fee accumulating, and then the higher is going to be the buyback and burn. So this is, and here we are just at the beginning right now, and it's really, there's only, it's a small amount, but this will just go up with adoption. So this is very, very important for people to understand that.
Amazing. Dustin, I'm wondering, can you explain to the viewers how to properly configure? So you're staking GoldDao, and then you automatically are receiving rewards in OGY, ICP, or what steps do they need to take to ensure that they're properly receiving those rewards?
That's a very good question. So it's you basically have to stake, and you have to then vote on proposals, and you can either actively vote yourself, basically by logging into the NNS tab. So people who are familiar with ICP, everybody knows the NNS tab, where you manage your SNS tokens. So either you have to do the voting yourself there manually, or you can follow the team Neuron. We have guides, or you can follow any Neuron, but most people tend to follow the team Neuron, which is also available. So you can delegate your vote, and then you will receive rewards. But that's an important part, that you need to participate in the governance. You need to vote in order to get rewards. Just simply owning the Neuron will not give you rewards. You have to really participate.
Got it. And those extraneous rewards, they show up in the NNS as well?
Okay, actually, that's the second point where I didn't fully answer your previous question. We have our own dashboard, which is going to be also revamped very soon. But basically, you have a dashboard where you can log in with your wallet, and then you have to link your dashboard identity with your Neuron in the NNS, and you can claim all the rewards then in the dashboard. There's different reasons why we did it like this, instead of simply sending the tokens to the owner of the Neuron. And one of the main ones is really that people, they should be aware of what they're gaining from staking GoldDao. Because if you just send tokens to their address in the NNS, they may be wondering, hey, okay, my balance is increasing, but I don't know why. I sometimes see tokens in my balance and on some wallets where I wonder, okay, where they're coming from, but okay, I don't care. So it's important.
I wish I had that problem, Dustin. Like, whoa, where did this come from? Like,
it's always like meme coins or whatever airdrops you're suddenly part of, and but it's not that much an ICP, but yeah, it has happened. But yeah, so we really want to have it that people are aware, they fully understand of what they're getting from staking GoldDao tokens, and that's why you have to go to the NNS, and you have to go to our own dashboard, and then you link your Neuron, and then you can claim your rewards. And this is actually it's once a week. It's by chance, it's actually right now. It's always Wednesday afternoon, my time. It's I'm in Central Europe, so it's always at that time when the rewards of the past week are being distributed, and then you can claim them.
Very cool. Appreciate you answering that.
Yeah, really neat. I had another question, I guess perhaps for Victor. The upside that I saw on this project was to disrupt this paper gold market that's in stock investments like the bull shares gold or the double gold indicator shares and options contracts and the GLD ETF and stuff like that, where you're like, if S really did hit the fan, you're not going to be like contacting the ETF company to redeem any gold from your whatever your bull position was. So I'm wondering, like, how big is how do you guys see this slowly absorbing this, where people are investing in gold, but they don't actually have it. It just seems like they have it. I see a realization taking place there where they're going to have this moment that the money was never worth anything there, perhaps because after some event that takes place, you'll need to have been in position to redeem it, or you were in the wrong investment, I think is what people are going to realize. So how big is the paper gold market? Do you guys see it absorbing that, or is this going to just be like a safety valve for people that are in crypto and NFTs and they just want to diversify, or maybe they've made a lot of money in Bitcoin and now they want to get some more security in their portfolio? It seems like a lot of people would be interested in doing that as well. How do you see those those are like probably my main factors in, I guess, the near future?
So, Dustin, do you want to tackle that one, or myself?
I can give my response, but I feel like I'm taking all the speaking time here, so I don't want to. I think it's also for you. But yeah, it's basically there's the different target groups, let's say, that we have. So, and I think those that indirectly, I think, also answers part of that question, because you have like the crypto native people who may want to just diversify their gains. You invested into Bitcoin, Ethereum, ICP, and now especially the last few months, it would have been a good opportunity to put your assets into GLDT, to diversify and secure some of your gains. So that's for sure one way. The other way is, like, for example, what we are doing with the staking, the GLDT staking, is you just simply want to be exposed to the value of gold, and at the same time earn some interest. So buy GLDT, stake it, and you have exactly that. Basically appreciate through gold, and then you have the traditional gold investors who are not maybe in the gold in the crypto industry yet, or who are not in the crypto industry yet, and we want to make it. I mean, this is, of course, it's a long journey, but we want to make it easy for anybody to simply invest into gold via our platform. More and more in the news lately, I don't know how much you've been following along, but there's always questions. Okay, like really, how much gold is really there? I mean, it's clear there is more paper gold than there is physical gold. Which in our case, every single GLDT token that exists is really backed by this NFT, which you can check in the smart contract. Basically, you can check how many NFTs does the swap, the GLDT core canister own, and this has to match exactly the total supply of GLDT, which it always will. And then every NFT that exists is backed or linked to a physical gold bar in a vault. So there's really this very clear chain of total supply of the gold token and the gold bars in the vaults. So it's clear that every single token is really there in a physical form. And I think once people understand that, then it's a much more bigger no-brainer in a sense to invest into GLDT, because you really know when shit hits the fan, basically, really all the gold is there. Like you can take your GLDT, you can swap it back to the NFT, and you can come. And I think that's a very important factor that I didn't mention yet. But you can come to the vault and redeem your gold bar. You can, if you want to have your physical gold, you basically you take your gold token and come with them to the vault, and you say, "Hey, I want to have my gold bar," and then the NFTs is burned. It's basically no longer existing, and you have your gold bar. You have this guarantee that you can always come and get it, and I think that's one of the key differentiators also.
Yeah, guys, and I'd like to add to that. So I think what Mike was saying is how many gold products are actually real, right? So I actually started researching this, and it's like you buy a gold product, but it's really like a futures product. And then can you cash it out? Yes, but you need to wait this amount of time. You have to wait for it to expire. And then after you wait for it to expire, you have to ask for this vault. And then the vault has to send it to your local vault that has this and that has that. And there's all these steps. So then it's like, are you actually buying gold, right? Like, for example, with silver or with bullions, you order it online and you get it in the mail. It's like in your house, or you go pick it up or whatever. But it's not like a piece of gold, right? It's you have access to this gold, and then once they get the gold, those people can actually use that gold to get a loan. So then they put the gold as collateral, and then they get those assets. They do whatever with those assets. They tell you that you're buying that gold, but another person has that gold, and then that person tells other people that they have that gold, and it goes through like so many hands. So by the time you want to get your gold, it has to like go back through all those hands. It's not even the same gold bar, obviously. So, but personally, what I think, and of course not financial advice, is if people wake up to the fact, because I know I didn't. I didn't even understand why there was a gold NFT. But when people wake up to the fact that this is not just a gold product, like this is not exposure to gold, or this is not like exposure to the value of gold. This is exposure to an NFT that's actually a specific bar of gold at a specific vault. And what kind of like surprised me is I was looking at the audit. It's a third party audit by KPMG. And then I was reading the top, and I was like, okay, well, there's a kilo or something like that, or like 10 grams, whatever. And then I got to like the second pages, and it was like 1 gram, 1 gram, 1 gram, and there was a whole bunch of 1 grams. Each one of those 1 grams is serialized. So if you were to buy like, I don't know, like 50 1 gram NFTs or 50 grams worth of tokens, and then convert them to 1 gram NFTs, you could show up and get like 51 gram NFTs, and it would be like that 1 gram NFT, so that's crazy. So my particular thesis is, if people wake up to the fact that there's no gold in their gold products, and then this one actually is gold, like there's actually gold there, just as there's, I forgot what it's called, I think it's Shanghai Exchange that, sells Chinese gold, and the Chinese gold is like more expensive because it's actually gold. I think something like that will happen to this marketplace. Like currently there's not like tons or anything like that. I think there's only like 5 kilograms. But if it grows and there's more demand, I think it'll reflect the real market value of the gold rather than like the market value of the gold. So even currently, there's a third party called Biddy, and what Biddy does, it becomes kind of like a market maker. So they add, I believe it's a 3% fee, maker fee, and 3% taker fee, or 3% spread. Spread is probably the correct word. So when you have your NFT, you can automatically just sell it to them. You take a little loss. So you have a market maker right there. And then that's kind of what people are basing it off right now. So you buy your tokens, and then there's always one arbitrager that if the price of the GLDT goes up or down, they can go and buy an NFT. If it's too high, they buy an NFT, they turn it to GLDT, bring it back down. If it's too low, they buy it, they get their NFT, they automatically sell it to Biddy, or maybe it's not automatic, you have to like do a couple steps. But that's kind of like the market maker in the background. However, if there ever is a gold run and then the market realizes that this is actually individual serialized gold, I would speculate, not financial advice, that the price of GLDT will be higher than the price of other gold products. It could happen. It might not, but if there ever is some sort of run and the market realizes that this is different, it could happen that the price of GLDT is actually higher than the market price of gold. At least that's what I think. But I could be wrong, and I tend to get on these rabbit holes of what could happen.
Yeah, it took me a while to get around a couple things that I thought might happen or what could happen, but once I saw the order of operations that the NFT, the gold NFT, then you could retrieve the tokens. So there wouldn't be anybody that could just appear with these tokens to dump on the market. They'd have to come through the NFT, and that would put more gold into the banks. And like that's what you meant in linear growth, I'd imagine. You just, as more people came on and they wanted more gold bars, you just serialize more gold bars, and then more people, and it would just grow linearly, right? So yeah, it makes a lot of
exactly.
That's kind of how I understood that. But yeah, so neat. Any other questions, Chris? Or
I do have one. You guys briefly touched on the partnership with Origin. I understand that their involvement is for the authentication and certification. So are they creating the NFTs themselves that represent the gold, or maybe you can elaborate on exactly how that partnership works?
Yeah. No, so Origin is simply the technology provider for the NFT. Basically providing the standard, providing the technology. And there's a separate entity that's effectively issuing the gold NFTs, because when you touch gold and when you touch the real gold, there needs to be a company behind it. There needs to be really somebody physically there. And this is handled by a separate entity who then uses the Origin protocol to create the NFT. And then basically the GoldDao is then building on top of this NFT on a purely digital level. So and then also the NFT layer. Because you're handling like real world assets and you're handling fiat money as well, when you want to buy and sell from and to BIDI, you need to actually undergo also KYC, like just for AML reasons. You need to know who your or BT especially needs to know who they're dealing with. But when you then go into the GLDT side, this is a fungible token that is freely tradable on any DEX, which is also kind of the beauty of this design, because you have a fully like regulated mechanism of bridging the assets basically from the real world to a tokenized form. But then you have a completely open market in the fungible token, which is very liquid, and anybody can expose basically their assets to gold.
Got it. Okay. I wonder, is there like, do you guys have like a diagram or kind of a mapping of all these different, how all these different pieces come together?
It's in the white paper that we had initially published. The base concept is it's basically there. There may be a few details that have changed, but it's really if you go on docs.gold-dao.org, you will then also find the white paper. And there is an overview of the different, let's say, entities involved in the whole NFT creation, issuance, and then how all this basically ties together.
Beautiful. Yeah. Regarding the auditing process, just wondering if you could break that down a little more. Obviously, people want to know that their gold is really there.
Yeah.
And I understand there's a few parties you guys use to audit.
Yeah, basically. So we're doing this right now with KPMG, who go to the vaults in person every 4 months, I think, and they really check every single gold bar that there is, and check all the NFTs that have been issued, and that these really match 1-to-1. And then we publish these reports every now and then, or like whenever they're made, basically. They're being published as well, part of the NFT. And so that's one of the parts, basically, where you have third parties auditing. But of course, the best proof is then when actually users come and redeem their gold and show that this is really possible, and share their experience. And but I mean, that's one of the bases, I think, of the whole like the product and gold itself, because you have to trust that the gold is there, and that's always, of course, not easy to make it very clear, kind of in such a setup. But we try to do it very transparently in the different mechanisms that we have.
Amazing, very impressive.
Yeah, none of this is financial advice to everybody watching, but to me, it sounds very appealing. The rewards mechanism that you described, Dustin, getting the OGY, the GLD, and then perhaps the WTN as well. That is something that I will certainly look back on as an investment opportunity over the next couple weeks here. We're in a really great time for internet computer, and the benefits that companies like GoldDao are going to be able to capitalize on are amazing. And it's going to allow people who do it correctly to really stand out, to offer a great product at a price point that it's not going to really be possible, I don't think, on traditional technology. So when you combine an opportunity like gold and ownership, investments, the $10 trillion asset class that it is, and just to be able to harness that with Web3 capabilities, sounds like what we've been talking about today here. Any kind of final thoughts or deep burning questions? Victor, I'd love to hear from you more on this.
I would just say add liquidity. If you're trying to add liquidity to something that's kind of relatively stable, and not maybe too extremely volatile, then adding liquidity to GLDT might be a good idea, right? You can also get, it's almost coming soon, so you can stake your GLDT. And then if you wanted to stake ICP and you think GoldDao bottomed out, you could get some GoldDao, and then you can get more rewards by staking that than by staking ICP. So, and then after that, all you have to do is get people to use the GLDT token. So, you guys know, sometimes I go on rabbit holes, and that's kind of my whole spiel. That's why I'm entertaining sometimes, because I'm just like, what if this happens and this, and a lot of that might not happen, right? But some of it might, and the product of GoldDao, like in a sense, it's similar to a financial instrument. So in a sense, you have all this ICP staked, all this OGY staked. You have this allocation of GoldDao token. So then, you can treat it. You can treat it just like, well, I'm gonna use it as a wealth financial instrument to store my wealth in GLDT, or I'm going to use it as a alternative to staking ICP, and I'm going to stake my GoldDao token. You can use it like that, but at the same time, the product itself, you can use it as currency, right? It's not just like for example, I know there's the product called PaxG. I've seen it on Binance, and it's just like really big numbers, and it's really confusing, and it's not too volatile. So people that really like graphs, they're out here trading Pi coin or something. And then gold is, it's not as exciting, but it works good. It's there. Mm-hmm. But if you were to use it as a currency and and I was thinking this other day, because we have a platform actually called Moonshift, and Moonshift, I'm unaware, maybe part of my ignorance. I don't know if Moonshift accepts GLDT token. I think they stopped a while back. Maybe they haven't even built anymore. But for example, Moonshift was rewarding tokens for people who would do jobs. So I know I put a couple of jobs on there. I even did a couple of jobs on there. And then it's basically like, hey, do this graphic and you'll get $10. And then you get ICP, or you get, CKBTC. But what if we had platforms like that and people could earn in gold? What if your salary was in gold? What if another, what if you could go shopping in gold? What if there was an eBay with gold, and you can do all that with the cheap transaction fees that we have on ICP? So to me, as a rabbit hole guy, I know that's probably going to be my name now, but other than just a financial instrument and all the things that I said, what if just use gold as money? That's what our ancestors used to do, right? And then we can do that too, but digitally, and I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, part of me thinks that a failed past one like Luna perhaps could have succeeded if they had technology like we have right now and a gold-backed stablecoin. So I think it's a battle definitely worth having. I'm excited to see if it can succeed, and if gold gets implemented into AI technology and all of these driving vehicles and robots and everything, and the demand really skyrockets, I'd imagine there's going to be a lot of people getting wealthy off of this GoldDao opportunity. So I'll have to really dig in to know for sure. Offhand, which one would you guys suggest to sort of just follow the price of gold to maybe get your feet wet in the project if you just wanted something that could maybe offset risk or something? Would you suggest an NFT or GLDT perhaps?
I would suggest for sure the GLDT, because it's just much more liquid, more accessible. You simply have to connect to your DEX and purchase the GLDT. So that's the easiest way to dip your toe into the products, I would say. And
in theory, 100 GLDT is worth 1 gram of gold, and it will always be that way.
Yeah, so exactly.
You can kind of rest assured on that. You've just got to be thinking how many of the people in the GLD in the stock market would be reconsidering their investment if they knew what we had just said. It's got to be a large portion of them holding some portfolio filler positions that look like gold and silver, but they're really backed by nothing. But this definitely is. So I'm really interested by it. There's a reason it's one of the more popular projects on ICP, and I think it'll likely remain a top investment opportunity. Yeah, really cool. Thanks for sharing. I really appreciate you, Dustin, and Victor as well as Chris. Anything else we want to share about the project, or where you guys can have more information, or any other videos that might be worth watching? Or
Sure, I think this is a very good video now to watch. But yeah, no, I mean, if you want to follow along, just go on our Twitter. I think it's GLDRWA, if I'm not mistaken. And also follow along on Telegram. We're quite active there. We're engaging with the community. Yeah, follow along there. And of course, like you also already said, no financial advice, but try around with GLDT, GoldDao. Really understand what it is. I think this video, I hope that this will help for the people who are sticking through this video.
Yeah.
And try it out.
Which one was the one for the staking? The GLD?
Both.
For both. Okay.
Like now it's going to be both. Yeah. GLDT is the gold token, and GoldDao is the governance, like the project token. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So basically, you can stake your GoldDao token, and then you get GoldDao, ICP, and OGY after you link it to the dashboard. And then the team got one of those same neurons, kind of like, earmarked it or separated it. And when you stake your GLDT, which is like your gold-backed token or gold NFT-backed token, they basically gave a neuron to those people. So if there's like one guy, he gets all the rewards. If there's two guys, they get half. If there's 100 guys, they get 100th of the rewards. And then the more people that go into that one, I get the less rewards they'll get from the GoldDao neuron. But if you just stake the GoldDao neuron, then you'll just get like all the GoldDao rewards. But of course, if more people stake, you'll get less. But that one's kind of like it'll probably be more stable. And if you stake GoldDao, that's the one that Dustin said is around 25% APY. I do want to clarify one thing, Dustin. Can you tell us, in order to get that, circa 25% yield, is there a time limit? Like, do you have to do like a certain 8 years, or like how much, like time wise, how much do you have to stake it for in order to get that around 25%?
Yeah, that's a very important point. Yeah. So we have, everybody who's familiar with like ICP and how neurons work there, you have this dissolve delay. And on GoldDao, you can go from 3 months to 2 years. And the dissolve delay bonus is 100%. Basically, when you stake for 3 months, you have factor 1. When you stake for 2 years, you have factor 2. So to really get to those 25%, you have to stake for 2 years. It's very, this is 25% roughly, as it depends, of course, on ICP price, OGY price. But yeah, so we are roughly there. And of course, if you stake for 3 months, you're about half of that. So, which is also already still nice.
Yeah, I was about to say that's about like a 6-year neuron already too, kind of. Because I know I have a neuron with like 6 years on it, and it's giving me like 11.8. So I could get technically, the same rewards as my other neuron if I just put GoldDao. Now I would just have to have the risk, like, is GoldDao going to go down? Is GoldDao going to go up? But assuming GoldDao goes up, then I would get more rewards and more price impact. So that's something to think about. I hadn't thought about the dates. Like, you could stake ICP for 8 years, or you could stake GoldDao for 2 years, or you could stake GoldDao for a couple months and still be like a 6-year neuron. So that's crazy. That's crazy rewards.
It's really wild that you have so many advantageous, in property they're called exit strategies, where you could sell it to somebody, rent it, keep it. It's like in this opportunity, you're in an industry that has so much future connected to people's primary investments. Like, you get to capitalize on the Web3 benefits, and you get to earn on the way. It's like somebody's going to find out about this. And I mean, I feel like we're really lucky today to be sharing this. Just because it hasn't been explained to me in this detail before. So thank you again. This has been a real pleasure for me. I feel like I have something very important has been revealed to me in the last hour. So surely I'm not the only person that will come to that sort of realization. So thank you again.
Yeah, I agree. Appreciate your time, guys, and we appreciate your efforts, both of you. And thanks everyone for listening, watching. Any other closing thoughts you want to get out to the community before we wrap for good?
No, just well, thank you guys also for having us here, chatting with us around on GoldDao. And yeah, really, I guess the closing thought is just go check out what we have, try around with it, really understand it, and make your own, take your own conclusions from it. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, excellent. Open to any developments. We're happy to do an additional show on GoldDao at any time. So upon whatever comes in the future, we can do another. So thank you, and thank you, Victor and Chris as well. We will see you in the next episode.